Listen, I don't know the circumstances or anything like that, bro, but I will tell you, when you have somebody that close to you that you love that much and you just see every day deteriorating more and more and more, like I hate to say it, Chris, but if that were the case, I could understand it.
Now let's talk about Billy Jack Haynes. Speaking of Wild World, he got accused of killing his wife, who was suffering from dementia, about 15 years older than he was. So the question is that's being put on the topic today was it a mercy killing in your opinion? This is alleged, and she was the best friend's. She was Billy's best friend's mother, and 15 years his senior. So. EC3, man. We'll start with you when it comes to Billy Jack Haynes. Was it a mercy killing?
I'm not touching this one. No.
Your thoughts? Alleged. It's all alleged. This is your.
I do not know the circumstances. I do know nothing of. I've never met Billy. I don't know anything of the marriage or the scenario. I mean, he's charged with murder.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I will just allow, as Bruce Pritchard said, the fine U.S. court system and justice system to get to the truth.
Vince Russo, what do you think?
Bro, I will say this because I do have some experience when it comes to this, Chris, because my mother passed away from dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, it's such a slow build. And it gets to the point, Chris, like honestly, like there is no quality of life like whatsoever, but bro, my father in my mother's waning years, bro, he took care of her 24/7. She could not do anything for herself.
Yeah.
And there's no quality of life. And bro, it got to the point that he just could not take care of her anymore. Mm. So I listen, I don't know the circumstances or anything like that, bro, but I will tell you, when you have somebody that close to you that you love that much and you just see every day deteriorating more and more and more, like I hate to say it, Chris, but if that were the case, I could understand it. Because I saw it, bro. I saw what it was like.
My mother-in-law passed away from dementia less than a year ago. So I definitely can relate as well as you can, Vince. And just dementia, there's so much, when it comes to just the psychological explanation of dementia. But to your point, Vince, it does very much deteriorates you cognitively to the point where you're just, you're not functioning. A lot of times you're even in a vegetative state, and then of course, Alzheimer's is the severe form of that. And it goes further and further, from dementia to Alzheimer's. And it's terminal. You don't just, unless a miracle from God, you don't just pop up and say, oh, okay, I'm done. Like when you have like a lot of other illnesses and even cognitive issues, like people can come out of comas, for instance, right? But when it comes out, when it's dealing with dementia, that's something that it's a terminal illness. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And you're slowly witnessing someone getting worse and worse until their death. Just functionally, just from an everyday perspective, just looking at that and seeing that is just, to the people who are, to the caretakers, to the close friends, to the close family, that stuff is just heartbreaking, man. Just to see someone terminally, deteriorate like that. As far as it being a mercy killing, man, I broke this down on Pancakes and Power Slams quite a bit when it comes to the criminology and the psychology of a mercy killing, and whether I thought it was a it's potential. Do I know it's a mercy killing? No, I don't know. I don't. He hasn't said this was a mercy killing, so legally, it's all speculation. Could it be a mercy killing? Perhaps. You know, I mean, that's an option in this of it being a mercy killing. But from what I did some research on Billy Jack Haynes, watch a couple shoot interviews from him, and some people were commenting on my videos and through me on socials as far as knowing Billy Jack Haynes and his family. And they were just saying, like, he was a nice guy, but he can get very, very angry and rageful. And he's actually admitted that he was diagnosed as a sociopath. So someone with sociopathy, there's a lot of things about sociopaths that have very, very skewed or very affected, very negative relationships with people. A lot of times sociopaths just don't like people. He was abused as a child. A family member sexually abused him. And sociopathy is more, it's more nurture than nature. So psychopathy is typically genetic in many ways. Sociopathy is typically viewed as non-genetic. That means there's something that someone experienced throughout their childhood that's developed them to be a sociopath. So with Billy Jack Haynes, his relationship with people in general has been very jaded, because of untreated childhood traumas. And so a lot of the stuff are trauma responses when it comes to sociopathy. So I would say that a lot of his relationships with people, he's even talked about his previous relationships, the fact that he doesn't get sexually intimate, that he doesn't get aroused because of his abuse. He said a lot of that in previous interviews before too. So I can imagine just the sociopathy and her being in a state of dementia, him having to take care of her. There's a lot of factors there that could have, I'm giving you from a clinical and criminology standpoint. There's a factor that could cause him to blow up. So that is possible for him to say, I'm tired of this. I'm enraged. I don't want to deal with this anymore. So it's not necessarily a mercy killing, but it is in a sense, because she's going through all this. She doesn't need to be going through all these things anymore. So it becomes a mercy killing that way. But at the same time, with his sociopathy, he could have thought of it from a standpoint of, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of her. He's trying to ask her to do something. She really can't get it. He blew up. Like that's possibilities. Again, those are scenarios that could happen in this. So that's basically the clinical answer when it comes to this Billy Jack Haynes incident. Any other thoughts on that?
Nope. That's heavy.
Yeah. I just want to go on the record saying when my dementia kicks in, I would like EC3 to take care of me. I want to move in with him, and I want you to take care of me hand and foot. Is that okay?
Absolutely. I would do nothing less for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's talk about John Cena.
Huh?
What's that, Ace?
I'd be really getting Russo'd. You should hear the ideas he's coming up with.
Yeah, can you imagine? That'd be tremendous, bro.